Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am going to do a video series on how we identify yellow leaves on orchids and what caused them. Do we worry about them and how to deal with them? We'll talk about what if it's an old leaf or a damaged leaf. I'll show you some insect damage, I'll show you some sun damage. I'll help you decide, is the leaf damaged and should I worry, or should I just remove the leaf and carry on? So all that coming up in the next few videos. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about before we get started on these videos is we always want to sterilize our equipment. So I use rubbing alcohol to sterilize it. It's just a 70% mix, and that way we're not going to be transferring any viruses or bugs or bacteria between the orchid leaves that we're cutting. Most of the time the orchid leaves are going to be just yellow for age reasons, but if they aren't, then we want to make sure that all of our equipment is properly sterilized. So I am just going to take my pair of scissors and give them a good swish around in here. And I'll leave them to sit while we move off to the first orchid. Alright, so the first orchid here is a Phalaenopsis orchid. I've had it for a few years. It's had many blooms on it. These are all old bloom spikes. And it has got some yellow leaves on it. They're just kind of getting floppy and kind of worn out. The oldest set here on both sides is just turning a little bit yellow. So I'm going to simply remove them. Now on these sort of leaves here, I'm just going to cut close into the base of the plant, and I'll show you the leaf here. Now on this leaf, it is just sort of yellow and a little bit mushy. You can tell it's just not healthy anymore. There's no real damage, there's no spots. The back side as well, I don't see any bugs or anything like that to check out. No holes in the leaf. So I'm going to guess that this leaf, it's old. It's probably a few years old now, and it's time that it got removed. So I'm going to do the same with the other side here. And again, no real damage to it. This leaf is a little bit older again, but now marks like this. The other thing to take into consideration is what happened first. Are these marks appearing because the leaf is old, or is the leaf turning yellow because these marks appeared? And again, I'm going to guess with this leaf that it's just an older leaf. It's had a few years of life and it's time to get chopped off. And there we go. We have a happy, healthy Phalaenopsis. I'm sure within the next few months I'm going to get some new leaves coming out the top there anyways, because summer is coming. So let's move on to the next plant. Alright, moving on. The next plant I brought out is an Oncidium. It's a healthy looking Oncidium. It's got two new growths in the front of it. But if we move to the back here, and I'll turn this plant around, we have one bright yellow leaf. And in my opinion, when they get like this, it's time they came off. Another few weeks and this thing might just pop off on its own. But a lot of people ask me, why is my Oncidium leaf turning yellow? Why is it coming off? Well, we know from the fact that Oncidiums only get usually one growth a year, that bulb is, if this one is a year old and this one is a year before that, this leaf is probably 3 years old here. And it is just simply time to come off. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of run its life and it's time to be removed. So again, you want to sterilize your scissors before you make any cut, and just snip it off close to the pseudobulb there. What you'll find in the next few weeks is that little nub that's left there that's yellow will probably just actually find its own spot to pop off, and it'll end up looking more like this bulb here. So again, when we look at this leaf, there's no real damage on it. There's nothing that indicates any kind of disease or any problems like that. Just looks like a leaf that's time for it to be removed. Alright guys, so that's part one of this 4-part video series. I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and make sure you check out the other 3 videos coming up in this series.